Guys, we are back again for another video, and it is Miss Porsha Williams again acting a D-fool out here in these Atlanta streets, y'all. So let's get into exactly what took place. Porsha Williams was invited to a graduation celebration, honey, and when I tell you she showed up in her regular form, acting a childish, complete idiot. Now, Porsha Williams was invited to Kandi Burruss's daughter Riley's graduation party. Congratulations, Riley has finally graduated from college. Well, here's the deal, y'all. When Porsha arrived at the party, she went down the line and gave everybody a hug. And guess who she skipped? Skip Carmen looked her straight in the face and went right over to Kandi. Well, I know you guys know if you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta why she skipped Carmen, but who in the hell is holding on to something from so many years ago except for jealous, angry, bitter Porsha? So, y'all, let's let our intro play out and let's get on into this video.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now.
Well, guys, before we get into this video, I need you to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and also make sure you enable your bell notification so you do not miss out on a video. Now, guys, for the purpose of this video, we're going to have to definitely go back to Real Housewives of Atlanta history. Now, we all remember when Porsha Williams was in cahoots with Phaedra with regards to this RAPE situation that allegedly turned out to be a lie when it was that rumor that Porsha was supposedly had to or was going to be art by Kandi and Todd and all of these lies that was conjured up supposedly by Phaedra, but it seems like Porsha was damn well in on it. Turns out it was all a lie, but we all know how that whole entire situation spun out over the camera and how Phaedra was ultimately fired. But the bad part of it but the bad part about it is it was a total lie to ultimately destroy Kandi, her character, and it was just a horrible lie. But here's the deal. Phaedra took the fall for all of that. Porsha bared no responsibility, and she basically made it seem like she was told that so that she believed it. But people speculated that Porsha should have taken more responsibility. Well, we knew after that Phaedra was ultimately fired and she was kicked off the show. Now, I know that long explanation was very long-winded, but I had to bring you guys back, take you guys back there so you can understand what has just occurred. Now, Porsha was invited to Riley's graduation party. Of course, Kandi had her Kandi in the Gang people. She had Carmen there, other individuals, but this is where it gets really crazy. Porsha disrespects Kandi's friend Carmen, and everybody was screaming it is simply because of what happened so many years ago. Now, if you guys recall, Kandi would occasionally film with her, her friends and even her employees, even including Don Juan. And they have all been very vocal about Porsha and just how she's a horrible friend, not to mention she tells lies, amongst a lot of other allegations. So Kandi's gang, Kandi's entourage has been very open and vocal about just how trash Porsha is. But here's the deal, guys. The thing thing that had the internet so much, up in arms is who in the hell comes to a party, looks a person up and down, don't greet them, but go to the next person when you very well know exactly who the person is. So she basically looked Carmen up and down and walked right past her. It wasn't an accident. It was something that she done intentionally. But people just don't understand, like, Porsha girl, grow up. That stuff happened so many years ago. The fact that Kandi has invited you and you and Kandi are in a better place, why don't you just leave her friends and her employees alone? You must understand they are employed, they work for Kandi, they're friends, like, I'm sorry, they're friends of Kandi. So if you have an issue with Kandi, generally, her friends and her workers, they're more than likely going to say something. So, Porsha is so childish. Why show up to an event and act like a two-year-old? One thing I can never seem to get out of my mind with regards to Porsha, and it's actually a statement that her ex-husband Cordell made, and he simply stated that he wanted to be divorced because he did not want to be married to anybody that wasn't an adult. And Porsha is like a little girl in a grown ass woman's body, because listen, now I know I can get an attitude sometimes, but girl, how many years ago has that been? How can you get along with Kandi but don't get along with Carmen when Carmen at one point was employed by Kandi? So it just makes no sense, because your issue was with Kandi, not her friends, not her employees. I'm just wondering, how this will impact Kandi's relationship, with Porsha, being that all of that stuff had been squashed. She had, forgiven Kandi. I'm sorry, Kandi had forgiven Porsha, but now to have Porsha show up a century later with an attitude with Carmen, it just looked it weird. And y'all know y'all dragged her for filth, as you should, because it's just like, Porsha girl, shouldn't you be worried about your divorce that you're going through? Shouldn't you be worried about your spot on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Shouldn't you be worried about if you're going to have to move in with your mother? Why do you have an attitude with Carmen for a statement that you made so many years ago that, the world took issue with you because you lied? I don't know, guys. Y'all have to let me know what you think. To me, the whole situation is weird. And it's like every time I try to give Porsha credit, I just put her right back in the little girl space in my head, because she is truly, truly a little girl in a grown ass woman's body. Because I don't understand why anyone would be that triggered and that upset by something that has already taken place. You and Kandi are cool. So, what is your problem with Carmen? It just makes no sense, no sense at all. But again, I can always remember that statement that Cordell said he needed to be married to an adult. And he was seemingly saying that Porsha is a child. Guys, don't forget to comment below. Let's have a conversation in the comments. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And also make sure you enable your bell notification so you do not miss out